Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, courageous beings of light, all of you who are here on the earth at this time with me. This is a pretty profound time of beingness here, and I want to thank you for being on the earth to join this walk with me. I feel like today I'm waking from a dream, and I suspect that many of you are feeling like that's maybe a description for you too, that whatever is going on the planet right now, a lot of upheavals and chaos and multiple challenges, and for some of us, we're over it. We're looking for and ready for peace and more harmony, more cooperative spirit in humanity, and all of those kinds of things. And indeed, that's exactly what's happening. As a child of the divine, the planet is being infused with energy. We are being bombarded with, I'm going to call it kisses, like your mom coming in to wake you up in the morning when you were little and getting her neck right in, her kisses right into your neck and on your cheeks, to let you know you're loved and that there's more to you than you had ever imagined. Waking up from the dream allows us to make the distinction between our lower or little selves and our bigger or higher selves. The little self thinks that it's small, that it's not worthwhile, that it's inept, it's not able to accomplish what it wants to, that things will never go the way it wants for some of you, and so many negative aspects of our lives that it wants to focus on. Many of those things arise out of the patterns and habits of what we've encountered in the past. And today is a brand new day. You're not the same being you were yesterday as you are today and in this moment. When you stand on a riverbank or the ocean or wherever you can see water flowing, you're looking at water. You can even step in it. If you can imagine looking at it, you can look at the same spot for 5 seconds and the water has changed in each second of those 5 seconds. Whatever you saw originally has already moved on down the stream and away, and in some cases out of sight. We are like that. We are leaving behind us things that no longer serve a useful purpose, things that we've been taught, things that we have been told, that we have believed, and remember, a belief is just a thought that's repeated. We've had that thought and we repeat it, and so now we believe it. It isn't necessarily true. It's a thought that has been with us for a long time. We've never maybe even thought about changing it. So what this means is, this duality thing, is that there's a small part of us and there's a large part of us, and the large part of us knows that we are not only capable, smart, inventive, creative, capable, wise, and innovative, strong, courageous, loving, kind, compassionate, and true. What is true and what is truth? Interesting concept there. Anyhow, this time that we're in is a lot like the Matrix, where we are coming to a place where I feel like you are standing on a bluff, or we're all standing here on trying to figure out how to get across the crevice, right? A big crevice, and it's too far to jump. but it is something that if we work together, we'll be able to manage this, not only for ourselves, but for others. The idea here being that it's time to leave behind the small thinking part of ourselves in favor of going higher, going greater. Wanting more? Yes, absolutely. You can have more. You can have so much abundance, you would have had no idea that that was a possibility for yourselves. But I'm here to tell you there is no lack of money, abundance in all things on this planet. It seems like there are certainly a handful of individuals who have monopolized that aspect of things, but you can get in on it for yourself without focusing on them. The small self wants you to feel limited, wants you to feel stuck, wants you to turn to something else that's more worldly in order to gain the success and joy and gratification things that you want. The higher self, that self that's connected with something you cannot see, you can feel it, it tugs at you, it longs for you to step into the light of the truth of who you are as a powerful being. If you see fighters in a ring, they may use force. You can see this on a baseball field, a football field, in any sport. There are those who use, it's sort of like the muscle, to moosey their way through, and there are those who have this calm, centered place within them that they utilize to access their strength and power and courage to rise up, and in some cases pick themselves up, dust themselves off, start again, and get going with wisdom gained from where they've been. You're like that. There is no reason that you cannot pick yourselves up and get going. It is important to access that in order to go higher. It's important to access that inner wisdom within us. And that can happen through quiet, solitude, finding a peaceful place, utilizing meditation. I do walking meditation, which is sometimes a walk along the beach, just feeling the sand and the movement of the water and the sun glistening on it, just to be immersed in the moment, in the whatever is happening at the moment, that brings that centered balance, calm, and peace. And when that happens, you're creating an opening for inspiration to come into your awareness, into your mind, into your thoughts. And that's quite often what happens, is you will be inspired by a thought that you had, and if you act on it, that thought most often is coming from our Creator, and is the more you take action with it, you can get an inspired thought to go have a cup of coffee at a coffee shop somewhere, or if you drink tea or whatever your beverage of choice is. But that inspiration is, if you feel compelled in any way, that is your inside source nudging you. Synchronicities. If you have sequences of numbers that come into your mind, and it can be 4:44 on a clock, or 11:11 on a receipt from a purchase that you've made. It can be that you've heard the same name more than once. That can be a place or person or thing. Those are synchronicities that are being presented to you to explore a little further, a little deeper into them. The internet is full of wonderful sources for accessing these kinds of things. And, you know, superstition, it's not. There are valid reasons for looking into things that are coming into your awareness and you don't know why. It's okay not to know why. We didn't come in here with a dictionary of how I'm supposed to operate, or a manual, or an encyclopedia. I often wish I had one. Now I know I do have one, and that is those kinds of things that are coming into our awareness that are unexplainable. And so seeking the answers to those things, you know, why is this happening? What is going on for me? Questioning why you're doing something that is uncomfortable, why that you're not pursuing a dream or a passion or something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. All of those things fall into that category of your higher self, that connection that you have with something bigger that will bring about in the long run a peaceful coexistence here. So how do I really know that's what it is? The best way that I can tell you is without a doubt, things that are positive, that uplift you, that cause you to be in happiness, joy. You know, a baby smile can do that. A dog, the lick on a face from your best friend, a dog, which brings you joy, is you operating in or feeling that connection with how life is supposed to be, and it is supposed to be abundant, joyful, and the more that you begin to act on those inspirations that you receive out of the blue, then the more good things will begin falling into place for you in your life. The job you've always wanted, money out of the blue. I remember one time, I don't know how many of you have never done this, but I double posted a check at a time where I didn't have that kind of money to be, you know, paying bills and rent and buying groceries and repairing cars and all that sort of thing, to be double putting in I mean, I thought I was in hog heaven with all that money at the time, which was not big money. It was just extra money that, you know, hadn't realized. And when I found that, I was like, holy smokes, I got to pay the rent. And it's not, you know, I must have had I must have played too hard the month before. And so I simply put it out to my inner self that you're going to be okay, that the universe, God, has my back. I'm going to be, you know, it's all going to work out. I didn't fall into despair. It was a momentary thing I almost did. You fall into the pit, you get stuck in there. So, but I know better. And interestingly enough, and I wrote out the check for the rent, put it in the mail. It was a 2 or 3 day deal. And it was 2 days, the day before the rent check was to arrive, that I got a note from a client whom I had done something for, and special, I guess you could say. And that client had sent me the exact money that I had double posted that same, and I'd never said a word to anybody. In fact, I was too embarrassed to say anything. So that was, you know, that's how the universe works when you begin following your inner guidance system, that inner, just not, you don't have to know. And that is hard for us. That's the challenge. We are logical, linear, rational thinking people. We want an explanation as to why something is happening. Our source, our connection with our higher good is not always rational, logical, linear. If you can imagine a God that is creative, the creator, uh, why, is there anything logical about a leaf or about that crazy looking fish or bird? I mean, some wild colors and shapes and, things. Each human here is a beautiful masterpiece with their own gifts, talents, and skill set, whatever they have. We're all unique and individual, but it doesn't mean I'm any less than you or the next guy or however it goes. I remember my Aunt Marcella when McDonnell Douglas was laying off people left and right. She had a supervisory job, and I think about 10 years had gone by, and they were still struggling. The company was struggling. And I said, Aunt Marcella, how is it you still have a job? And she said, because they know I'm willing to work. She said, the executive, she said, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like the executive. And he elevates a custodian to a very high standing when there's no toilet paper when he's trying to use the bathroom, and that custodian gets bumped right up there really quick. So she said, I'm willing to do just about anything. But she had that kind of an attitude, and therefore she kept her job with them till she retired. Anyhow, you get what I'm saying. You are a pretty fabulous being. You have potentials that are untapped. You have things that are available at your disposal if you're willing to attempt some new things, letting go of some old and stepping into some new shoes can be kind of exciting, especially when you know that the other side of it, when you can trust that the other side of what you're about to do is only operating in your highest good for your long-term abundance and potentials, and it really wants to bring out the very best in you and provide a life of untold wonders, love, joy, and so on. So know that you are loved beyond your imagining. Know that you are way more than you ever thought possible. You can even tell yourself that every night. I am loved beyond my imagining. And go to sleep with really wonderful thoughts. Start each day the same way, in gratitude and joy. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked the content, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. I'm happy to respond to all of your comments, questions, and any topics you would like to have covered. So until the next time, I love you this much. Bye.